Hi there, Andre here from Peak Motorcycles. Today I'm going to be doing a video about Enduristan motorcycle luggage. So I've bought this luggage to put on my CRF300L Rally, but first of all I'm just going to talk through what each of the pieces are, because I think that's easier to do on a table than it is while I'm fitting to the bike. And then I'll put all this away, I'll wheel the bike out and I'll show you how they fit to the bike. So the first thing I want to show you are these Enduristan Blizzard XL Panniers. They do come in 4 sizes, small, medium, large and extra large. These are the biggest ones they do, which is the extra large, and they are 17 litres per side, so 34 litres in total. A few things about them: they are fully waterproof, they're all taped seams, they've got a roll down top, which can either be rolled down this way, rolled up and clipped, or you can just fold it in and put the clips on, much like on this one. So I'll show you how both of those work. Other than that, on the outside there really isn't a lot to them. There's some clips underneath which can be used either for attaching just things on an ad hoc basis or some of the other Enduristan pieces, but otherwise that is kind of it. I think that's done by design so they don't really catch on anything when you're riding. In terms of the materials, it's a very tough, I think it's a multi-layer fabric, which seems pretty high quality. It doesn't seem to mark. I've seen videos where people have just been washing them off and dirt seems to come off them. On the inside of each one, this is the bit that goes up against the bodywork. It's quite a soft touch, almost like foam material, but you can't really mark it, but you can indent it slightly and then it comes back up again. I guess that's going to rest against the panels on your bike. And then lastly, the securing straps. So there's these pull straps that go around the pillion pegs. There's these 2 straps which go over the seat, and then there's this quite clever looking clip at the back which has these 2, you can see that it has these 2 alloy clips which go either side of the seat or the rack at the back, and it means that if one comes off, the other one still hangs on. Other than that, there's a carry handle on the top of each one, and there's also a couple of loops I suppose you could use to either to secure something else or even use it with a shoulder strap. I'll just show you how they open and close. I'm sure everyone has seen this before, but just in case. Inside, it's a bright red colour, which makes it quite handy for trying to find things that are in there. I think they actually do some liner bags as well, which are white, if you don't want to bring your muddy panniers into your tent at night. And in terms of closing it, like I say, there's 2 choices. One choice, hopefully you can see this, is to just fold it in like that and then just roll it over the top. I guess that wouldn't be waterproof, but it is quick, so if you're just doing things quickly, that might be a better way to go. And then there's 2 clips, one like that and one like this. That's an easy way. If you really need it to be waterproof, it's miserable weather, you can just fold those over like that and then just roll it up. So I'm just going to roll that over a couple of times. It is quite stiff. It's about 4 degrees Celsius in my garage at the moment, so that probably doesn't help. And these are brand new. There we go. Roll it over a couple of times and secure that like that. So yeah, so that's kind of simple like that. This one doesn't have anything in it, so it doesn't really show its shape. I've just stuffed some bubble wrap in this one so you can see how they kind of fill out once they have things in them. Okay, so that's everything with the Enduristan Blizzard XL Panniers. The next thing I want to show you is an Enduristan bottle holder. I know this seems kind of trivial, but if you want to have a drink when you're out and about, you don't need a reason not to do it. Opening the panniers, it is a bit fiddly. You wouldn't want to do it every time you stop. So this will actually fit directly underneath the panniers, and I'll show you how that goes on. One thing that's quite cool in it is that you're not limited to a bottle that is only this size. There is a strap that comes with it that would actually go around the neck of your bottle, so you can actually have a bottle that kind of stuck out to there and still have it secured. Again, a bottle weighs quite a lot comparatively, so to be able to secure that to the underneath of the bags will keep the weight low on the bike. Okay, the next thing to show you is the Fender Bag. So this is a small pack which actually will go on the front mudguard of the bike. Now what I'm not sure about is whether this is actually going to fit on my Rally, because on the Rally we have there's this bigger fairing that comes forward which actually has wiring in it, so it's not easy to avoid. On top of that, the headlamp is fixed, so the mudguard actually moves underneath it. So if it doesn't fit, this, in the same way that the bottle holder will fit underneath the pannier, will go on the underside of the other pannier. The last piece of the luggage that I've got from them is this Enduristan Rally pack. Now, this is a waterproof bag, which actually just fits on the back of the bike. Now, this is actually for use without a rack. So I think for those people who are really trying to keep the weight down, they don't have a rack on their bike, it actually just bolts through the plastic, so you do have to drill 4 holes for it to do that. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to get to do that today because I do have the rack on my bike. They do another seat pack. They do another tail pack, which is bigger than this. I think this one is about 3.5 litres, and I think it's 8 litres for the tail pack. And the tail pack is 8 litres, and that just has hooks on it, so it would actually clip directly onto the rack. So in hindsight, perhaps I should have ordered one of those instead, but nevertheless, I will have a go at fitting this anyway. If I'm finding that the bike is too heavy, or that I could do with saving even more kilos when I'm just out riding for the day, then I think this is still the way to go, even if it's not the thing that I would use if I'm doing a longer journey. So there we go. So that's the 4 pieces, the Enduristan Blizzard XL, the bottle holder, the Fender pack, and the Rally pack. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how these attach to the panniers. So if you can see under here, we have these 2 straps. Now, in order to get the bottle to fit to there, the instructions say to just remove the clips, which come off fairly easily. Okay, actually, I'm going to leave that one as it is. I'm going to put the bottle on the underside of the right pannier, just because that's the one that's going to be more accessible when the bike is on its side stand. Okay, so that is clear on the underside of the pannier. So I'm going to take the bottle holder, and basically where previously the clips had gone in, you actually just feed those same straps through the clips on the bottle holder. Okay, so there we go, that's on. I'll not tighten it up until I've actually filled the pannier with some stuffing and put it on the bike, but essentially as you look at it, that's exactly how it would lie. It's got the loop to go over the top of the bottle that would just easily hold it on there, and that will just keep that bottle down and out of the way, and the weight low down for riding. Okay, that's everything with those. Let's put those clips to one side. The last thing I just want to show you before I fit it to the bike is that this is the Fender pack. So the Fender pack itself actually has these plastic clips on it, which should just fit around the edges of the front mudguard. Now they just fit through these loops. I'm not actually going to fit them all on because I'm going to wheel the bike out and just see if I can actually fit it on safely. If I can't, then it's going to go on the bottom of the other pannier. And then last but by no means least, for the Rally pack, you can see these 4 pre-made holes in the base. And it comes with this fitting kit, which is these pads that go underneath, and then it's essentially bolts that bolt through top to bottom once you've actually drilled holes in the plastics on the back of the bike. So that's it for the look at the luggage. I'm now going to wheel out my CRF300L Rally. I'll fit the luggage to the bike and we can see what fits where. So the first thing I'm going to fit to the bike is the Enduristan Fender Bag, or at least to see if it'll fit. This one actually is clipped straight on, so if you can see there's these quite heavy duty plastic clips which will go around the edges of the front mudguard. So the problem I think I have on the Rally is that there's these two points either side of the fairing. This one has actually got wiring running up and through the just behind the tube, so it's not really something that can easily be removed. Plus the headlamp doesn't move with the mudguard, so I've seen these mounted on some bikes. It's very close and snug up to the headlamp when that's actually on the fork and turns with it. Not so on the Rally, so I think about the closest I can get it is about there. The clips do fit. The clips do fit really snugly actually. That's quite a nice feature. So yeah, those do feel quite secure, and you can get quite a pull on them to hold that in place. In fact, that already feels very secure as it is. Now this front end, I don't know if you can see, the mudguard itself is quite narrow and then does actually get broader when you get down. So ideally both clips would be in there, but that isn't going to be possible. So instead, I'm just going to put the forward one on there and do that clip up. and then the same on that side. Actually, you know what? That is kind of all right. I did wonder whether it was going to be a little bit loose. Let me just tighten that up. Yeah, actually. So yeah, actually, I don't know if you can see that. That is actually on pretty secure. I feel like I could almost lift the bike from that. So yeah, that will go on the front. So that was one thing that I wasn't sure about. As I turn it, yeah, that it just clears. I don't know if you can see that on there. I'm just going to move that camera back a touch. Yeah, so actually, as I turn that left and right, you can just see in there that that is clear. So that's the first piece. Okay, check. The Enduristan Fender pack definitely fits onto the Rally. It will also definitely fit onto the standard CRF300L. The next thing I'm going to show you is how the Enduristan Rally pack would fit. Now, I don't actually think I'm going to fit this today. I'm going to save the drilling for another day. But in terms of a shape and size, it fits on basically through the plastics just there. So this will need me to take the rack off, take this rear piece of plastic off as well, actually drill the holes and fit them, but that looks like it would fit pretty nicely, and it's just a very convenient size. And if you don't want to have the extra couple of kilos for the rack, and I know a lot of people don't, then I think the Rally pack is pretty much perfect for that. However, for today, I'm not going to show that in this video. So what I'm going to show right now is how I actually put the panniers on the bike. It seems pretty straightforward, and bear in mind that this is going on with a rack. So here we go. So I'm literally just going to hang that over the top. So to put the panniers on, there's these two hooks, which look like they should just hook underneath, maybe on the plastics, but I think there'll be quite a lot of weight on that. So what I'm actually going to do, so these two hooks, they're actually a little bit too big to fit around the edges of the racks there, but they'll easily fit around these inner bits. So I'm actually going to just pull them onto there. And then the one on this side. All of the tapes do come with these little elastic pieces, so it's easy enough to tuck them away again afterwards. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this, but there's this metal locking clip and this webbing here. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to attach this just below the pillion peg. That way I know it's going to be the same on each side. I'm then going to attach the clips at the back to pull it back up, and then just use this to put some tension on it to pull it back down again. So here goes. So I'm just going to leave that loose, just like that. I'm just going to go around and put the rear clips on. So right now that is actually pretty secure. That one's not going anywhere. It's got the padding in. The strap between here and down here is actually quite tight, and I think that's quite nice. What I'm less pleased with is actually how I've got it angled here. Now, bearing in mind these bags are not designed to work with a rack or pannier frames, but I have one on the bike. I'm not quite at the point of taking it off just to fit them yet. So what I think I could do doing is just moving this back a little. So I'm just going to loosen this webbing out from this clip and actually run it underneath the frame, because I think that will just give me that extra bit of movement. Okay, so from there, instead of coming over the top, I'm just going to feed that under the rack, like that. And then it's just a much cleaner line through here. And actually, if I'm going to do that, what I think I will do is I'm just going to move these clips back. So I'm just going to run that right from the back there, just through the loops on here. There we go, and I'm just going to tighten that back up at the bottom. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that. It just seems to be a much more secure way to do that. So I'm just going to go around, do the same for the other side. So exactly the same on this side. I'm just going to thread that under there. A little bit tighter now that I've got that bag done up. It's actually the clip on this side holds the bag on the far side of the bike. There you go. So this strap, much the same as that side. Just going to thread it through underneath and back on here. And again, it's just a much cleaner run of the tape. Actually, I think one of the things I'm seeing with this at the moment is the fact that I've got nothing in here. It means that it is much looser. Okay, so those are both secure like that. The last thing I'm going to do is just tighten up these straps over the seat. I guess the bags are made for a wide variety of bikes, and this is not particularly wide. Okay, so I think what I need to do is actually just loosen this off down here. Okay, so there we go. I'm now just going to do the same with the rear one. Now I think I've got my head around how that goes. Okay, those two seem like they're at a similar tightness now. There we go, that was somewhat easier than I thought in the end. So tighten these back up. I'm actually going to change the position of these lower ones, I think, and just put them around the foot pegs. So now those actually feel really solid. The bags are now secured on the bike. They're really not going anywhere. Everything in here is tight, including down there. I've just tidied up all of the tapes, just so you can see. So things like under here, that is now all secure. I've just put some stuffing in the bags so you can see what they look like. This bit's tight here. I still need to just tidy those up. And the same on this side. There's the bottle holder that I showed you earlier on. So again, it's just really accessible. It's high enough, it's out the way. And yeah, you just pop your bottle in there, stick that over the neck of it just to stop it coming out. That one is also on extremely securely, including down here. So I'm quite pleased with how those look. I'm going to take the bike off the side stand. I'm just going to try getting on and off with those in there, but actually they're really not coming up very far indeed. I think for where my foot is going to go, my foot's not going to come that far back. And even when standing forwards or back, there's enough angle there, you know, even if my backside is somewhere up here. So yeah, I think that should work quite well. There is still space on here. So I think if I had the Rally pack fitted, I think I'd probably just use the Rally pack. I think for using these panniers, I think that what I will probably do is get one of their seat packs to go on the back here. And yeah, no, that's worked out really rather well. So I'm going to do some trails at the weekend. So I'll see how those look. And then based upon the back of that, look forward to doing some longer journeys. So that's it. That's my video of fitting the Enduristan Blizzard XL bags to a Honda CRF300L Rally. So I've got the Blizzard XLs on the back. I also have the Fender pack on the front of the bike, which still seems to be pretty securely fastened. I'll get out at the weekend. I'll do some riding on some trails with these bags on and just get used to getting on and off the bike with them and give you some feedback on how that works. They seem really securely fitted and they're not going anywhere. So I think there are just some really nice details on here. So every single strap, I think, has one of these little elastic pieces just to hold the straps. You could always tuck that in again. Another thing is pretty much every strap tightens from two sides. Quite often it's actually stitched through on one side and only adjustable on the other, which means you end up with one long bit to tug on. I think everywhere here, including the top clips, these clips that go underneath and the ones that go across the seat, everything pulls from two directions. So you can balance up the length of the tails you have sticking out, and then everything can be tucked away. There's also some little clips on here to put things in. I'm guessing that's more for just things on the fly if you just want to put a couple of tools in there while you're stopped. But yeah, I think those are pretty good. I think they would go well with the tail pack just on the back here. So there you go. That's my video of the Blizzard XL Panniers and also the Fender Bag. So I'll get out at the weekend and give those a try. Hopefully this has been interesting. Please let me know if you have any questions on them. Just put them in the comments and I'll try and answer them all. I hope it's been interesting and useful, and if it has, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.